Okay, we are recording. So, hello everyone who is either on this call live or who is watching this as a recording. We are super, super excited to have you guys here. We have never done this before, just for us to be on here and all be talking together. Normally, it's just all separate videos. So, I'm really excited. I'm going to start off first. We're each going to share a little bit about our stories and how we came upon this opportunity, why we wanted to be so freaking involved in this opportunity and dive head first, and then just a little bit more about coaching. So, for those of you who do not know me, my name is Sarah Spickler. I am the CEO and founder of the Phoenix Movement. That is my team's name. So my journey starts, I would definitely say, in childhood and just getting real deep real fast. I went through a lot of abuse, and that just set me up for a lot of failure, mostly mentally as a young woman, and just looking at myself as not worthy and not liking how I looked, and I never looked good enough. And there was no confidence in myself, and I really didn't think that I deserved much of anything. And finally, going through a couple of guys who just finding love in all the wrong places and really trying to mask my pain with all of the wrong things. And also growing up not really knowing how to take care of myself, not ever having done a sport or have worked out in a gym, and growing up in a family where we didn't have like a ton of money. So hamburger helper was like the main dish. Not that I'm complaining, but I just really did not know how to do any of that. And I was just always very skinny. So not having the knowledge and not really needing to do anything just did not set me up. And just where I was mentally, it was just not good. So, but then going into college, I found my now husband, Tyler. It'll be 7 years that we've been married this fall, which is crazy. We have a 1-year-old, and life is good. But when we first got married, we really both gained a lot of weight. That's kind of where this newer journey really started, because for once in my life, I wasn't like the little toothpick. I was like gaining weight. I probably gained just over 20 pounds in a year. And I was just like, well, what just happened? Like, I looked in the mirror one day and I was just like, honestly disgusted. It might sound a little over dramatic, but in my mind, I was just like, I don't feel good. Like, I don't feel sexy. I don't like how I look. Like, I don't feel comfortable, like naked in front of my husband. Like, this isn't okay. Like, what's wrong with me? And so I knew I needed to find something. So I tried a bunch of free programs that I didn't dislike. Like, I was getting results and I was gaining knowledge on like form and different kinds of workouts and like healthier foods and all those things. But I would start off super strong and then like just fall off hardcore, like 2 to 3 weeks into the program. And I'm like, what the heck? What am I missing? And my mentor actually reached out to me through Instagram because I was just using it as a form of accountability. I was just showing my before pictures, sharing my workouts and my food. And she messaged me one day and she was like, girl, I've been following you. And I was like, who are you? Why are you following me? And she was just like, you are literally showing up like a badass and doing everything that I'm doing. You're just not getting paid for it. And it kind of like really took me back. And I had two different like thought processes. I was like, dang, like really, like I can make money doing this. And then I'm like, no, like I don't know anything. Like I'm not a personal trainer and I don't know what I'm doing. Like I'm still trying to like pull myself together. So I thought about it for a whole year, being in a job that I did not like. It was like a family business. It was just very drama. The women were just very negative and gossipy and yucky. And when I would tell them about my journey, they would like, you know, how women can be, unfortunately, sometimes they would just like harp on me and make fun of me. And it's just so wrong. It's so frustrating now that I take a step back and I'm like, oh, if I was just the person that I am now back then. But anyway, so it came down to a lunchtime one day and I just sat back and just cried. Like I felt like I had no purpose. I was lost. I didn't feel good about myself. And I was like, something's got to give. Like I either try something that I'm super scared of or I just stay where I'm at and be miserable. So I said yes. And now here we are 3 years later, loving my team, loving what I do. Being able to work full-time from home as a mom is like, it's the greatest gift ever. It's not easy. It's really, really hard. Some days being a stay-at-home mom is no freaking joke. Being a mom is no freaking joke. But I wouldn't have it any other way. And I just completely love what I do. And it has given me back. I am the healthiest, most confident I have ever been in my entire life. So Now I'm going to kind of shift gears and talk about how we make money. So there are a couple different ways that we make money, first and foremost. And I like that you can approach this business in so many different ways. Like if you just maybe you have a friend who's interested, you can still make a little bit of money. If you are kind of wanting to dabble in this business, you can make a little more money. And if you're like, no, like I'm ready to go balls to the wall, like let's do this, then the potential and amount is just untapped, you guys. It's untapped, and that's the coolest part of this business. So we make 25% commission off of anything and everything we sell. So we aim as coaches to change 3 lives every single month and get people signed up with their bundle that has nutrition and fitness. That's what we aim to do, bare minimum every single month. So 25% really adds up, and commission is amazing, but and that's a big but. Where this really starts to take off is finding your tribe and building a team and teaching them to do the exact same thing. Because if you've ever been in sales, and I don't like comparing coaching to sales because I'm not a salesperson and I suck at sales, but when you break it down and look at the black and white writing, we are selling a product. We are selling goods and services. So commission is all well and good, but building your team, we earn weekly bonuses as coaches. And that all comes from sharing our journey, having women follow us, be inspired, and giving us the chance to then reach out to them, get them started, see that they're freaking capable of anything, that they can do this too. And then they join you because they're your freaking person, like all these girls on my team. They're my people. It makes my life so fun, so much easier because they're like, yeah, I freaking want to run with you. Like, let's go. But so commission is where you're going to start, but then building your team comes that weekly bonus that it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And so commission and that on top of each other, that is the financial freedom. And it just all starts with starting your journey, you guys. That's it. Start, share, be consistent, and just be yourself 100%. So yeah, I'm going to keep it short and sweet, and then I'm going to pass it on to Cassie.
Hi, y'all. Can you hear me? Okay. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Cassie, and Sarah is my coach. She's the one that stalked me on Instagram for a long time. So I just wanted to share a little bit about myself to start off with. I started on my health and fitness journey, I guess if you want to call it that, after college, really, and after I started a full-time job, and I just didn't ever have any idea how to, like Sarah said, eat healthy, or like I didn't know how to work out outside of sports in high school that I was terrible at, or in junior high. Like that just wasn't my thing, and I'm a super girly girl. Like I'm really uncoordinated. So it was really daunting to me to try and go to a gym and figure out what I was even supposed to do and what I was supposed to eat. And I realized that I struggled a lot with stomach issues and digestive issues, things that I just never, like, I didn't even know that eating certain foods caused problems, like just so many things that now I look back and think like how bad I was treating my body. And I mean, being super skinny and short, like I didn't think that I needed that, but I was really unhealthy and I wasn't treating my body well. So I tried going to the gym, and my sisters helped me because they're like really into sports and stuff. But what works for one person doesn't always work for someone else. And it was still really hard for me. So I tried online programs and free workouts from Pinterest and Instagram, but the same thing, I couldn't stick to them because I was doing it by myself, and I still felt so confused and lost with my nutrition. That is still a big struggle for me. So I was using Instagram as my own accountability also just like posting my workout updates and like trying new recipes and like learning even how to cook and what I liked, like literally starting from zero because I didn't know what to do. Um, so honestly, I don't even know when Sarah started following me. It was kind of just like we were friends on Instagram and we didn't even know each other. But I watched what she was doing and I watched just the community and the accountability that she had. So finally, I decided, you know what, I need to do something. Like, I need to change something because I'm not sticking, like, I'm not staying accountable to myself. I'm not sticking to anything to see it through. My nutrition is all over the place. Like, I didn't know what I was doing. I needed someone to just walk with me. And I feel like that's exactly what she allowed me to do because the main thing and will always be my favorite thing about coaching and about the community is it's about you first. Like you have to work on yourself first. And I truly started and did that. And I'm still doing that to this day. After having a baby 3 months ago, like I feel like I'm starting from scratch all over again. And it's so important that I worked on myself first and then I had that foundation so that I can do it again, starting with a whole new journey. Um, so that's just a little bit about myself. And what I wanted to share with you guys is what we actually do as coaches and not like posting on Instagram and like all the fun stuff that you see is part of it. But really, what we do is just help other women like us, honestly, to break it down to the easiest thing because like I said, it all starting as a coach and working on yourself and actually focusing on personal growth in your mentality and your health, your nutrition, starting as a student, I guess, if you want to like, I mean, put it in that sense, because you have to really learn what makes you tick and what works. And once you do that and fall in love with the process and fall in love with how good it makes you feel and how much enjoyment you get from being part of a community and being healthy and working on yourself, you naturally want to help other women do that too. You naturally want to share that with other people. And I feel like that's the main thing, and everything else comes. Like, you have to work on yourself, and then you want to share that with other women and help them do the same thing. And like Sarah said, finding your tribe and finding women that want to do this with you and actually coach with you and help other women do it too, is the whole purpose behind what coaching is. It's not like Sarah said about sales or about, all this stuff. It's about the lifestyle and the community. And I just feel like all of that comes in time and naturally if you start at the beginning and with yourself first. And just mentoring and coaching other women just by showing them what you did and what's working for you, and even sharing your struggles and what's hard for you, because nobody's perfect. And there are some days that I can scroll through Instagram and see all these people sharing all this nice stuff. And I know that Instagram and social media in general gets a bad rap for people posting their highlight reel and all of that. But honestly, the people that you surround yourself with is what you're going to see, because there are days when Sarah shares something that was really hard for her. And I'm like, oh my gosh, me too. Like just surrounding yourself with a community of people that are like-minded, but are also human. Like nobody expects you to be perfect, and you shouldn't expect yourself to be perfect. So I think the biggest benefit that you can give to other people by being a coach is just being real and just being yourself and sharing your journey and truly what you're going through and what you're struggling with, but also what you're doing really well at. Because at the end of the day, helping other women get better is what makes this all worth it. So that's really all that I wanted to share. You want to turn it over to Jennifer?
Hi, girls. Can you hear me? Yeah. Okay, perfect. All right. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Jennifer Price. I live in Huntington Beach, California, and I am one of Sarah's personally sponsored coaches. I just started being a coach in July, so I'm pretty new, but my soul got set on fire starting with her. So I'm here to talk to you about objections, but first, I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story. I'll try to keep it quick because it's really long-winded. So let's break it down. I grew up always the fat girl. I was the fat friend, and I knew it. And I had a family who liked to eat out every single night, pizza, wings, all the great things, because I'm from Niagara Falls, New York. So buffalo pizza, buffalo wings, it's my life. So about 6 years ago, I went to a doctor, and they basically told me I wouldn't be able to have kids because of my weight, or I wouldn't be able to, because I was so overweight. I was over 215 pounds at this point. So it really hit home. My blood pressure was too high. Everything was just bad. So I started working out, and fortunately the gym that I went to, they were like a family gym, and they were big on Beachbody. So I ultimately joined them, and I ended up being an Insanity instructor, and I fell in love with Beachbody 6 years ago. And but from there, since then, I lost 80 pounds, and then I had a baby. And after the baby, I was having really hard time finding that same passion. I didn't have time to go to the gym anymore. I ultimately, we live in a state by ourselves. I live with my husband, me, and the baby, and my family all lives back in Buffalo. I live in California. So it's really just us. I don't have time to go to the gym. I just don't. So when Sarah started following me, we became, close friends, because she has her daughter who is literally the same age as my son. So we talked all the time just about their milestones or anything like that, just mommyhood. And I joined a challenge group in February after trying every single macro plan and all the fitness people on Instagram. I tried it all, but it never stuck. Just like Sarah said, it just did not stick. Something was seriously missing. So I knew what worked for me in the beginning. It was Beachbody. So I said, Shaun T came out with a new program. Shaun T's my dude. I taught Insanity. So I jumped right on. So I fell in love with the program, and finally, after months and months of Sarah wanting me to be a coach, I ended up quitting my job, and here I am in July. I started being a coach, and my life has forever changed, all because of that. So I'm going to talk to you about objections really quick. I'll try to keep it nice and short because this can be a long-winded topic too. But so the first objection, and I'll tell you this was one of my objections, was money. Investing money in order to be a coach. How much money do I have to put down? How much product do I have to buy? It's a big misconception, because if you're a client with us already, if you're a challenger, if you're part of Beachbody already, you're already buying the product. You're already using the product. And you're already investing in yourself. And that's really all this is you're investing in your own health. So you're not spending any extra money being a coach. There's a $15.95 fee to be a coach. And if that's all you're paying to run a business, girl, you're lucky, because it costs a whole lot more to run any other business. So I call a bluff on that, because it is not expensive to be a coach. It's not. You need to prioritize where you're spending your money, and that should be on investing in yourself. Number 2. Being an introvert, or, thinking that you need to have this huge following in order to be, Insta famous or an Instagram, influencer. I can tell you I started with 400 followers, I think it was, or something like that. And many top coaches that you'll hear from literally started the exact same way. They had 0 following, and all of a sudden they have 15, 20, 50,000 followers. And I'm a very big introvert. I talked to Sarah about this earlier. I crave my alone time. I crave silence. So for me to get on here and talk in front of, thousands of people, it's not my thing. So, but if I can do it, Anyone can do it. And I'll tell you what, this business, they teach you how to do these things. We have our mentors and we have trainings from not even our own team. We have trainings from teams across the company of the most successful coaches sharing how they grew their business, how they went from being introverted, or how they went from being no following to being like great at what they do and being, not afraid to share their own story. So it really just comes with time. And I saw a quote earlier that said, that one of the biggest misconceptions or the biggest fears is, what will people say about me? And honestly, that question has killed so many dreams more than anything else in this world. Being afraid of what other people think. You just can't be. Because at the end of the day, they're not running your business or paying your bills or making you happy. They just aren't. So number 3, I think we kind of touched on this with the other 2 girls, hating sales or not being good at sales. I was in sales my whole life, so the thought of getting back into sales made me a little crazy. And the thing is, we are selling a product, but we're not selling just a product. We are creating relationships. That's what we're selling. We're creating we create relationships. We're selling the fact that we're going to become your best friend. Like we are. We're going to do wine chugs together, and that's what we're going to do. And we're going to work on our fitness together. And, we're going to do this all together. We're changing lives. That's what we're selling. We're not selling a bag of Shakeology. That's not what we're doing. And if you think about it, everything in life is really about selling. So like you regardless if you think you're good at it or not, you've done it your whole life. You have to sell yourself to get a job, don't you? You have to sell yourself to your husband, don't you? Marry me, I'm a good person, right? Right. So all of us are good at sales. We just don't know it. But in the end of the day, we're just building relationships. That's all we're doing. Number 4 is huge. Time. A lot of people are like, oh, I have a full-time job. I work 3 jobs. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I have no time. I'm going to pull my hair out trying to find time to do this. That I'm calling you out on your bluff right now, because I need you to stop scrolling through your Instagram mindlessly and use that 30 minutes that you're doing that to literally just, do your job. Just do your inviting. Try to change people's lives. Get off, Netflix for 20 minutes and just work with what you've got. I work in pockets of time. My kid is in this transition phase where he's like, I don't sleep. He doesn't want to sleep. So I just get it in wherever I can. When he wakes up in the morning is like my time. I get up, I do my workout, I share my workout, I share my struggles. It is like my me time. I have my coffee, I do my personal development, I do my work a little bit, and then move on with my day with my son. This is not my whole life. This is just, what makes me happy. This is what I do for myself. So you make time for what you want to do for yourself. And honestly, this is a business that was actually created to be a part-time thing. So you don't have to do this full time to be successful, but you can. The more time that you put in, the more you get out of it. That's just what it is. Okay. And then the last one that I'll talk about that's pretty big is, do you need to be physically fit already to be successful in this business? And I'm going to tell you, no. You're actually like in a better spot if you are not physically fit when you start, because now you get to share that challenge pack that you're doing, the journey that you're on, and people are going to connect with you. They're going to see what you're struggling with, how it's helping your body, how, it's helping your mind, how being on these programs is changing your entire life. And you're going to share that, and you're going to get you're in a better spot than people who have already hit their goals, because you're sharing a journey and that you're currently getting and that people can do with you. So and don't ever think that you need to be like this 6-pack abs or whatever you need to be to do all these Jericho jumps that she's doing, and I can't do any of them. So I think I covered most of the big ones. So I think that's it.